intro today, Snow Brown in trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, crazy situation happening right now. Hell yeah, infinite content jutsu. It got worse. It somehow got worse. So as we all know, Snow White recently came out on Disney. It flopped like no one has flopped before. Mirror, mirror on the wall, what's the biggest flop of all? It's the new Snow White movie. So it just came out. I'm very excited to talk about what's going on right now because the internet backlash is insanity. Snow Brown and the 7 Discord mods is actually cooking up a storm at the box office. So, Critical Drinker made a video about it, which we are going to be watching towards the end here to see what's actually going on. And I got so much to talk about, so much to say. So first of all, a lot of people estimated that Snow White spent about $350 million. Apparently, Snow White spent about $900 million on the making of this movie. Now, you're probably thinking, how does it continue to get worse? That's how it apparently continues to get worse. Apparently, they spent $900 million on this movie. Again, I am very excited about this. Like, incredibly. My Jew sense is truly, it's screaming at me. Where did all that money go? It went to this bitch, bro. So anyway, I wanted to look at the current downfall situation, exactly what's going on. It was one of the greatest losses in the history of cinema. I personally think that this is an offense to all of cinema and all of art. Literally, an offense to art itself. Now, the irony is, if you look at the BBC, before we even get any deeper, BBC is the godfather of woke. So they reported this, and it's very funny. Film review, Disney Snow White has a major identity crisis. My favorite part of this review is over here, where it says that their issue with this movie is that it wasn't woke enough. It said that it had one issue. The original 1937 thing over here is that it was attacked from both sides of the political spectrum. It's been condemned for being too progressive, right? Disney princess renowned for her pale skin being played by an actress with Colombian heritage. How dare they, right? BBC, they're woke. How dare they make Snow Brown and the 7 Discord mods the main characters? Yeah, anyway, and not progressive enough. You're probably wondering, how is it not progressive enough? Well, you're about to see. Because the issue is... oh god. It's not the worst of the studio's live-action remakes, for sure, whatever. But it's not the best either. It's undoubtedly the most fascinating. What's so unique about Disney's Snow White is that it seems as if some of the producers wanted to make an old-fashioned tribute to the feudal fairy tale, you know, adapting the actual content. But others wanted to make a revisionist Marxist call to arms. They wanted this to become a communist. They wanted to make a communist revolution, bro. Rather than settling on one option or the other, the producers apparently compromised by making both versions at once. The results are a mind-boggling mashup of different films. The first few scenes, we get the subversive version. In an overlong opening sequence, we hear that Snow White isn't named for the color of her skin. No, but the blizzard that was blowing when she was born. It's not entirely clear why the Queen and King chose to name their daughter in honor of the weather. This is so sad, bro. The communists are calling it stupid. Oh, but considering she could have been called Drizzle or Gusty Wind, she should count herself lucky. The exposition continues with the speeches and songs about the days when Snow White's benign parents ruled a kingdom for the free and the fair. Right? So when she's the fairest of them all, it's named after how they ruled the kingdom fairly. and they called her Snow White was because it was snowing outside. I can't, bro! I can't! It's so stupid! Anyway, the bounty of the land belonged to all who tended it, which is the closest a Disney princess film has gotten to paraphrasing the Communist Manifesto. I don't want to get into the actual controversy, according to the BBC. My favorite thing is the fact that they literally tried to push communism in this fucking movie. They woked way too close to the sun. Like, this entire review is just actually just tragic, talking about how the radical ideas weren't radical enough. Like, dog, that is incredible, bro. Incredible shit. Like, they argued about a patriarchy when the queen was literally the ruler. How is the patriarchy the enemy when it's literally ruled by a queen? So, this is Rachel Zegler, as we all know, 300% fucked according to my calculation. Check this shit out.
No longer 1937.
She's not gonna be saved by the prince.
She's not gonna be saved by the prince. And
yeah, she's not gonna be saved by the prince. Turns out that's not happening.
she's not gonna be dreaming about true love. She's
Nope. Fuck true love, am I right, guys? This is an adaptation of Snow White, where we're literally changing everything and we're turning it into Marxism.
dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Yeah, they obviously absolutely hated the original cartoon. You need to see these memes and clips again after the movie came out, just to see exactly how fucking bullshit they actually did. They are going to study her for generations.
There's a big focus on her love story, with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, so this is a relatively legendary clip. I have never seen someone actually bullshit in this unbelievable way, and it is wonderful.
So we didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original.
Yeah, we didn't do that this time. They did do it this time. Instead of dating a prince, she was in love with a bandit. A bandit kissed her on the lips and to wake her up from the poison apple instead of a prince. It's literally the same bullshit all over again. Except it's not a white savior, it's a bandit, so it's different.
Original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
Yeah, so really great of you to definitely do this.
I watched.
This is just Gal Gadot. Look at her.
I was scared of the original
Look at her watching her money departing. A fool and her money soon departed.
cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched
that smile and laugh.
it for the first time in probably 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it
Nice.
comes to
The bandit who robbed the kingdom also robbed her first kiss. So
the ideas of women being in roles of power. No longer.
she's complaining about women being in roles of power when literally it's a queen that is ruling the country. That is the fucking plot. Anyway, this is the hill that she decided to die on, and die on this hill she did. The memes have been glorious. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? She, he is. He is my queen. Oh god. Now, they've done some pretty impressive things. They've dethroned the king. So as you can see, Dragon Ball Evolution, formerly the worst live-action remake of everything ever made, with a 2.5 rating on IMDb. Snow Woke with a 2.3 on IMDb. I did not think they would actually destroy this shit, but it's impressive. I didn't think they'd ever dethrone Dragon Ball Evolution, but they found a way. So anyway, they said this is why Disney is about to lose $300 million, showing that Gal Gadot was in the Israeli military, even though, you know, there's a mandatory draft in Israel to be in the military. Like, it's something important. Yeah, it's definitely because of Gal Gadot, guys. Absolutely because of her. The person that everyone was praising for actually being beautiful. Apparently her acting wasn't that great, which is fine and valid, but that's not why people aren't going to watch this movie. People aren't going to watch this movie because of the fucking bullshit that Rachel Zegler's been strumming up. They're trying to rewrite history, talking about how Gal Gadot stopped it, which is hilarious. Oh my god. Now, hi Adam, retweeting this. Snow White flopped because they cast a hairy little commie retard who has a face like a disc sander, and the personality of a colonoscopy camera. True. Very real and based. Yeah, because Lord Farquaad out here literally ruined that bullshit. Anyway, they've been making insane memes and clips about this.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
Let's see. Excuse me. Your curtain. Please allow me to help.
Help? From you? Spare me your white savior complex.
I didn't mean to offend. I just thought you should know that
That I should know what? That some privileged white guy thinks his opinion matters? Get over your entitlement. I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse.
I'm really sorry. I was just trying to be kind.
Kind? If you want to be kind,
Bro.
disappear and take the patriarchy with you. Seriously, go away, stalker.
Bro.
You're weird.
You're so
Weird.
My queen, you're the fairest,
No!
but no longer the most evil.
Wait, what?
Crazy. The twist that no one saw coming. That's insanity. And literally no one saw it coming. The memes have gotten so much better than anyone could have ever imagined. Because it turns out it's a legendary downfall. So this is a nice tweet. Disney Snow White's Rachel Zegler said that harm would befall Trump and all of his voters. So anyway, this is a tweet that she made when Trump won, saying that may Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Hell yeah, fairest of them all. Respect women today and every day. Hell yeah. Yes, let's just flip off random everyone. She died on that hill, actually. she unironically died on this hill. She said Trump voters shouldn't watch her movie, and then surprisingly, people didn't show up to watch her movie. Let's fight somewhere empty. The Snow White Theater. Yes, Vegeta. Let's fight somewhere empty, Vegeta. So they go to Snow White's theater to fight instead. Yes. The only Snow White I recognize. Yes, baby. Ebony Black and the 7 motherfuckers. That's what I want to watch. They could have gone full meme, baby. Full ass meme. That's what I wanted to see. Ebony Black and the 7 motherfuckers. That would have been incredible. Now, this is the original Snow White. Her, you know, singing with birds. And then there's this Snow White trying to summon a curse or some shit. Activate the 10 plagues on Egypt. Like, what the fuck are we? Look at this adaptation. It's insane. It's incredible. Oh my god. This is the final scene of the Snow White live action. Here, I'm going to save you a watch. Here's the final scene of the Snow White live action. It's just a ditty party. It's just a ditty party. You can't even make this shit up, bro. Like, look at this. This is retard central. They ended with a ditty party. What is even happening? There's no way. They just ended with a ditty party, bro. Oh my god. And now this is someone that took a video of their theater during Snow White's debut. It's a literal empty theater. Dude, this isn't even a meme. Like, we saw the meme, bro. We saw the meme. But this is a literal video from Snow White's debut. Pay no attention to the Snow White and the 7 sex offenders, all right? Pay no attention to that shit, all right? Just, oh my god, dude. This is unbelievable. This is the actual Snow White debut. Like, you can't even make this shit up. Disney, we had to animate dwarfs in Snow White to make them look what we wanted. Peter Jackson, 25 years ago. Yeah, it's a catastrophic failure. So I showed you before 2.3. That's before it dropped to 2.2 on IMDb. Pretty important to talk about that. I felt like that drop of a 0.1 is definitely funny. So it was described as lazy and visually repellent by The Independent, exhaustingly awful by The Guardian. Disney has trashed its reputation. The Times, a strange hot mess. HuffPost, listless. Screen Daily, good enough for TV. Vanity Fair, film has a major identity crisis. The BBC. I just thought it's pretty good. Hell yeah, hot takes, baby. This is the reviews. Definitely, they woked too hard, bro. Now, the funniest thing is, the controversy got so big, even Ricky Gervais is making fun of Snow White.
You know the little fella from Game of Thrones, the actor, Peter Dinklage. You know Peter Dinklage? Yeah. He was at a junket, and it was for a new thing he was doing, right? And they were filming it. That's why it got leaked onto YouTube. And I don't know what brought it up, but he suddenly started going off on one. So I'm like, oh, God. He was going, it's fucking disgusting. They're still doing productions of Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. For Christ's sake, it's fucking demeaning. It's 2023. He wasn't happy.
Yep.
He was grumpy, wasn't he?
You see what I did there? The funniest thing is, How he was grumpy, bro. That's the craziest. You can't stop, man. Weird. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. So this is Rachel Zegler coping right before her movie came out. I thought this was important to share also. Right before her movie came out, this was the unbelievable cope.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
Yeah.
And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
no!
That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Uh-oh. Yeah, who told? No one tell her. No one tell her, bro. She was crying just thinking about the theaters being empty. Holy shit, she is probably losing her fucking mind right now. Bro, who's gonna tell her? Who's gonna tell her this was a generational failure? Holy shit. New Snow White movie is cooking out there, guys. You don't understand. You don't understand. Say please and thank you, Zwensky. Holy shit. The fact that it's a double boycott also. They managed to bring the Israel-Palestine conflict into this bullshit. Like, how could they lose on every possible level? Disney Snow White actress said, fuck Donald Trump after the elections. Made Trump supporters never know peace. And much to her surprise, this actually happened. Oh my god, dude. Like, are we on the same planet? Look at this shit. Gonna tell my kids this was Snow White. Snow White is doing so poorly, they're pulling down the ads for the film. This was posted to yesterday. This was, they removed this 2 days after. They removed this 2 days after it came out. You've got to be kidding me. How do you fail this badly? Bro. So this was Rachel Zegler at a protest, and I think in retrospect this is very funny.
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Yeah, so this is her arguing that she needs to be paid for every hour it's streamed, aside from the millions that she's gonna be paid for the actual acting. Which is glorious. It's just so good. It gets better. Okay, someone in my chat just sent me this clip. I don't know, let's see what this is.
They say you're the best mercenary gold can buy.
Gold, money, sometimes I just kill people for a chimichanga.
Snow White has become a problem. If we don't get rid of her, I'm afraid Disney will throw everyone in my world into the void.
Yikes! First Dinklage yanks up the world's shortest ladder behind him, and then Snow Not So White destroys this entire IP.
Can you handle this?
Bro.
I could really use a savior right now.
Anything for you, Wonder Woman. Hey, Snow Blight.
Oh, look. Another relic of toxic masculinity.
Dude, I love how unbelievably memeable this shit is. Like, the memes are endless. There is so much fun you could make of this show. It's amazing.
You can smell that gas you're lighting from here, and it smells like hate.
My princess, we could use some water.
Peter Dinklage! They must have scrapped that awful
God.
CG. Oh my You're playing all 7 of them now, aren't you?
Yes,
You
my
evil
goat.
imp.
Hey, no breaks. Get back to work.
Yeah, anyway, it's crazy. It's mind-boggling that this shit's been happening as much as it has. If you still can't understand why Snow White bombed, she called the original movie dated. She called the prince a guy who stalks her. She told potential customers she was scared of the original cartoon. She metaphorically told Jewish people, I want you eradicated. She told little girls love isn't important, power is. She told 77 million potential customers to fuck themselves if they voted for Trump. Disney themselves told 30,000 to 4,200 dwarf parents that your kind ain't welcome here. And Disney told 20 million white moms and 19 million white dads that your identity sucks. We're changing the character to Latina. Like, bro, this is the shit we're dealing with, man. You can't even make this up. You can't make this up. How is this one of the worst performing movies of all time? Anyway, that's why we are here watching The Critical Drinker. He went to the show. He actually went to the theater. He actually watched this shit. So let's see what he had to say. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the hardcore analysis of The Critical Drinker, because the poor guy actually went to theaters for this shit. Hell yeah, dude. I didn't watch it. I'm probably not gonna watch it, to be honest. It sounds like shit. And I don't want to spend 2 hours watching it. So anyway, let's watch this man very upset, the actual review. I can't believe that they spent $900 million on this bullshit, apparently.
World which are so universal that anyone, no matter their race, color, or creed, can pretty much agree on them.
Yes!
1. Never trust a post-vindaloo fart. 2. Spreadable butter isn't. 3. Anytime
That's true. Spreadable butter is not spreadable. Yeah, it's a good point. He makes a good argument.
a woman starts a sentence with, "A real man would," you
Yeah, that's over. It's over, bro.
know you're about to hear some weapons-grade retardation.
Oh, true. Holy shit.
And to that not-so-illustrious list, we can add that the Snow White live-action remake was, without a doubt, one of the worst ideas in the whole history of entertainment.
Yes! Everyone's always upset at me when I celebrate downfalls. I love downfalls. Downfalls are awesome. Downfalls means we're winning. They are sitting out here. They're trying to promote their bullshit. Nah, dude. We are so winning. Oh God, chaotic neutral never had a victory quite like this. Oh my God, they are just so gloriously fucking up, bro.
Possibly the most predictable of all failures, a project conceived for all the wrong reasons, starring all the wrong people, pushing all the wrong messages, and telling the entirely wrong story.
It's incredible how they managed to do this. Oh my God, it's so fun. Holy fuck. We keep winning, guys. We keep winning. Leave a like if you like winning, because we came into this as the counterculture, and we are becoming the culture. They cannot keep making movies like this and making games like this and fucking poisoning media and vandalizing art like this. The backlash is absolute cinema. Oh my God.
After all the delays and the controversies and the speculation that have been swirling around it for what feels like decades now, it was actually kinda weird to finally sit down and just watch this thing. Like meeting a celebrity after following their career for years. Not a good kind of
I guess. It's the equivalent of me meeting Hassan Piker, I suppose. It's like, oh, hey, Hassan, welcome. So nice to see you, man. How are those terrorists you're supporting? I sure hope Luffy is still in one piece. Yeah, finally it's out so that we can never talk about it again.
celebrity like. More like a Jimmy Savile kind of celebrity. The kind that you're discreetly warned never to get into a lockable room alone with. But here it—
Yeah, good, yeah, incredible reference. Someone in my chat just said, like, Mindy Kaling, because she made Velma. Guys, I actually met Mindy Kaling. It was the worst day of my life. I was in LA, I actually met Mindy Kaling. Like, you know, everyone says you go to LA, you meet celebrities. Bro, I met the fucking Velma Cretin. I couldn't believe it. After shitting on Velma so much, I actually met the godfather of Velma. That was crazy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I was like, God actually just using his sense of humor. It was unbelievable.
It is, nonetheless. And now that I've finally suffered through nearly 2 hours of Snow White, I can confidently—
Yes! Your 2 hours of suffering was a sacrifice I was willing to make.
They tell you that, yes, this film absolutely lived up to all my worst expectations.
Let's go! I love when things are even worse than you expect. It makes things so fun. It makes things so fun.
And in some cases even exceeded them. A bloated, overstuffed turkey of a production weighed down by hammy acting, cheap costumes, horrendous CGI and vomit-inducing cinematography that bungles most of the elements it steals from the original animated movie, abandons its classic ideals of self-sacrifice, heroism and true love, and
I mean, that's the move now. Fuck love, right? Tell a whole generation of girls, don't believe in love. Just believe in a Marxist socialist revolution against society. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Unbelievable. Like, what are we even gonna do, bro? What are we even gonna do? It's insane. It's insane that they really tried to peddle this propaganda so hard. They tried so hard to shove it down your throats. They absolutely tried to eradicate the entire entertainment industry and turn it into a giant propaganda machine. And it died because the values that it is fundamentally based on are cursed and flawed and evil. God, what a glorious day to be me specifically. Holy crap.
Injects the lethal
All it took was a decade of bullshit, and here we are, literally winning.
dose of the message, which is so redundant and thematically contradictory that it just gets abandoned by the ends. It's also laughably obvious where they've had to reshoot and rewrite big chunks of this movie in response to all the backlash. Entire subplots, characters, and setups are introduced and then abandoned without explanation, and the ending is so wildly anticlimactic and jarring that it makes World War Z look like a model of cinematic efficiency. Anyway, let's get the plot summary over with so we can put this turd behind us. The basic setup for Snow White is broad.
Alright, baby. Lock in. We're getting the full ass review. I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. Hell yeah. Woo. This is a good day. This is such a good day.
Similar to the original film. Snow White herself is born to the benevolent king and queen of a generic medieval fantasy land that tactfully goes unnamed. Although fuck me, they must have pretty good transportation links with the rest of the world because the population here is more ethnically diverse than central London. Anyway, Snow White's mum dies and her dad remarries Gal Gadot, who
Oh my god, I'm dying. Oh my god, I'm dying. What is this crowd?
good transportation links with the rest of the world because the population.
Oh my god, dude. Dude, I don't want to be rude here, but in a medieval fantasy land or whatever, that literally you can't travel, bro. They didn't have travel. The reason why most people looked homogenous in different countries were because they fucking just looked the same because they couldn't travel from other places necessarily. What is even going on? What am I looking at here? Besides, this isn't diverse as Central London, okay? Central London is all Muslim. Like, what are we talking about?
Here is more ethnically diverse than central London.
DEI peasants, guys. This is crazy.
Anyway, Snow White's mum dies and her dad remarries Gal Gadot, who manipulates him into going off to war, where he promptly disappears and is never seen again.
Sounds to me like the real badass here that took over the country is the evil queen, proving that women are strong and awesome.
Oh no, guess she's gonna have to take control of everything. What a bind. Fast forward a few years and the kingdom's become a kind of dystopian nightmare where everyone's poor and hopeless and ruled over by an iron-fisted tyrant.
Is anyone gonna explain how this happened? It's the stupidest way to get rid of a king. Just say, hey, you should go to war. And the king is like, yes, I should go to war. Honestly, this is the king's fault. King L. Holy shit. This is communism, by the way. You have the super tyrannical ruler ruling everyone. That's communism. Real communism. They're gonna make this try to be some sort of an analog to Trump or some shit. I don't know. Trump is a tyrant, just like she's a tyrant. They're tyrants, and then the poor people. But dog, this is literally communism. This is fucking Russia. This is the USSR. We're looking at communist Russia. The king just went to die in a war? That's the most contrived bullshit I've ever seen.
A bit like modern day Britain, only with better sanitation and dental care. Anyway, after a confrontation with Snow White over a bandit named Jonathan who tried to steal some food.
Guys, there is no way they got a Jewish actress to manipulate the government and take over from the inside. There is no way. There is absolutely no way they got a Jew to manipulate the government to take power. And the Latinas that are gonna fight back to create a wonderful communist situation. There is no fucking way. You're confusing dictatorships with communism? Dude, a lot of communists end up into dictatorships. That's what happens every time it tried. Holy shit.
From the castle, the evil queen decides the best thing to do is send her out into the forest where the huntsman can conveniently murder her. It's a bit extreme, but I'll let it slide. Naturally, the huntsman has second thoughts and decides to let her go, and after wandering alone for a while, she runs into 7 dwarves that I can only describe as the kind of thing that Cthulhu probably has nightmares about.
Snow White and the 7 CGI abominations. Hell yeah, dude.
I'm not kidding.
Classic Cthulhu.
Man, the brief glimpses that you got of these things in the trailers are absolutely nothing compared to the existential horror of actually witnessing them on the big screen.
Bro, stop. It's worse than the trailer? No! How?
These are nightmares made real. Like if you woke up in the middle of the night and saw Mr. Blobby standing at the foot of your bed, silent, motionless, watching you with those blank, lifeless eyes that bore into your very soul. So after crashing at their house for a while, eating their food and helping herself to all of their resources, Snow White helpfully forces them to clean up their own home while she prances around like she's on some mad acid trip.
We saw this in the trailer. We actually saw this in the trailer, dude. What is even going on, man? We literally saw this in the trailer. That's actually how it happens. She invades their house, invades their privacy, forces them to feed her, eats their food, then forces them to fucking wash the floors while she sits there? No. That was actually accurate? They made memes about that in the trailer. Is that true? Let me see if I can find this. This was like a whole thing. People were talking about this forever. Hold on, let me see if I can find this shit. Because when they actually released this, everyone freaked out. And they claimed that, nah. That's not actually how it's gonna be. It's not actually gonna be that bad. And it's copyrighted, obviously. They copyrighted that shit. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. They copyrighted it. Wow, look at that shit. Look at that shit. They those slimy motherfuckers. Every time. Look at this bullshit. In the original Snow White, she cleans for the dwarves to show her appreciation. In the new one, she breaks into their house, forces them to clean for her, making a feminist version of a character. Always turns her into a nagging, ungrateful bitch. And they show the clip, and the media got disabled because of copyright. Yep. Makes sense. Yep. Criticize me and I will silence you. The classic maneuver. Love that. This does happen in the movie. Yeah. It's unbelievable. Why is it that whenever they make a feminist character, they just make them nagging, ungrateful bitches? Like, what is even happening, bro? I wonder if it's actually a metaphor for the fact that modern feminists are modern ungrateful bitches. Nah, that can't be the case.
Which she probably is.
It's the most realistic part of this movie.
Is, to be fair. I would be if I was in this fucking movie. Then for some reason she gets it into her head that her dad must still be alive, and the only way to find him is to seek out the bandits that lurk in the forests.
Makes sense.
Right.
So she sent the dad to war, or she manipulated the dad to go to war. The dad goes to war, and she's like, he must be locked in the forest by bandits. Makes sense, I agree. A fantastic deduction, Sherlock.
So naturally, she runs into Jonathan about 5 minutes after leaving the house so that the rest of the plot can happen, and he protects her from the evil Queen's soldiers by taking an arrow that was meant for her, so she brings him back to the dwarves to get fixed up.
Nice.
Oh yeah, you know those retarded looking Starbucks baristas from those early set pictures that
Yeah, everyone was making fun of these guys.
everyone thought were the dwarves?
No,
those are the bandits.
These are the bandits! No, this isn't real. There's no way. I thought this was scrapped. I thought they just immediately got rid of the 7 DEI creatures. You've got to be kidding me. So in this show, there's the 7 dwarves who are these CGI abominations, and then there's the 7 DEI gender neutral bandits that look like they repurposed them. They fucking repurposed these bitches. This is unbelievable. Holy crap, bro.
who are actually out-of-work actors forced to become thieves because the evil queen's taxation policies shut down their entire industry. Is that a reference to something?
I love how they try their best to make her seem like Trump, and she's just not like Trump at all, actually. This is unbelievable.
A reference to something?
Is that a reference to something?
No idea. Anyway.
Yeah, no idea. God, this is unbelievable. They try their best to push this fucking propaganda. Oh my god.
Jonathan decides to lure the Queen's soldiers away to give Snow White time to escape, and then immediately gets captured because he's a bumbling idiot.
Disney trying to make male characters competent challenge. Impossible difficulty.
And the evil queen decides that she's had enough of this shit. Frankly, one sympathizes. Yeah. So she turns herself into an old hag and manipulates Snow White into eating a poisoned apple that makes her go a bit dead. But that's okay because Jonathan escapes prison so that the rest of the plot can happen and gives her the world's least passionate kiss, which brings her back to life so that she can begin her cunning plan to overthrow the queen and take back her kingdom.
That's the most unbelievable contrived bullshit I've ever heard. Wait, so in this plot, instead of murdering her, he just she poisoned her with a poison that gives her a coma, and she got rid of her, and then the bandit comes, kisses her on the chin. Apparently he kissed her on the chin. It's another thing people were complaining about. Snow White kiss. Let me see if I can find this. So many people were complaining about this. Oh god. I just see the original Snow White. 2025. Because apparently in the new Snow White, he didn't even kiss her on the lips. He just kind of kissed her on the chin. And it woke up. Shit, man, where is this fucking image? God damn it. This is so frustrating. Snow White and the 7 Discord mods. I can't find it. God damn. Snow White. They are trying their hardest not to let a single clip of this movie survive. Like, are we on the same page here? They are copywriting the ever-loving fuck out of this movie. Here we go, guys. A nice kiss on the chin to wake her up. Found it. There it is, guys. A lovely kiss on the chin. That's Rachel Zegler for you. Hell yeah, dude. True first love. Unbelievable love. Look at that. Lame and gay, as it always was meant to be.
Do you want to know what that plan is? Are you ready for the 4th dimensional quantum mega chest that she plays here that would probably give Christopher Nolan a brain hemorrhage?
I'm ready. Let's go. Hell yeah. What was the plan? What happened?
Well, she walks into town and then convinces the soldiers to turn against the evil queen because she can remember their names.
And then she immediately charged the bandit with sexual assault. What is happening? What is even going on? What are we doing here? They did this in Aladdin also. This is like the new Disney move. It's like you could just use freedom of speech to convince them that they're ruled by a tyrant, and then they'll just vote for the Socialist Party. This is unbelievable. What am I even doing here?
Really?
I'm not kidding, that's her plan. So the evil queen gets mad and smashes the magic mirror and then turns into black glass and shatters, and Snow White becomes the new queen, and that's it, they all live happily ever after.
This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. This is unbelievable. Or they're gonna talk no jutsu Trump out of office. This is crazy. Wait, so the dad is just dead? That whole dad subplot that got her to find the bandits went nowhere either? Oh my god. Did she murder the mirror for no reason? Oh my god, this is literally their IRL plan too. Holy shit. Rachel Zegler really going all out here. Going all out. Why didn't Israel just talk to the terrorists? Damn.
Now, there's a lot I want to say.
So the queen kills herself. So she Taku no Jutsu's the queen, and then the queen kills herself. What? What is happening? What is happening, bro? Oh my fucking god. I remember your name. Help me overthrow the government.
About this movie, but first, let us begin with the positives. And as hard as it might be to believe, most of them actually concern Rachel Zegler.
No way!
Now, don't get me wrong, she might be an obnoxious arsehole in the real world, but credit where credit's due here, she actually isn't terrible as Snow White.
It's not true!
It's unbelievable. I don't even disbelieve this. It's just so funny because she's a good actress. Anything could have happened. She could have actually succeeded. This movie could have been a relative success if not for Disney shoving bullshit down your throats and her shoving bullshit down your throats. She goes out there on a press tour talking about how they're ruining Snow White for the sake of agenda. Oh my god.
That's impossible!
I mean, her outfit looks like it cost like $100 off Amazon. Her haircut makes Anton Chigurh like a cutting-edge trailblazer.
Bro, she got that Lord Farquaad drip.
Her performance is a bit over the top and theater kid at times, and her American accent comes and goes depending on whether or not she's in a reshoot, but
aside from these unbelievable amount of issues, she's pretty good.
I do get the impression she's at least trying to do her best with the material, and she can absolutely belt out the musical numbers, which is pretty much what you'd expect from a trained vocalist. The same cannot be said for Gal Gadot, however. It genuinely pains me to say this, but I think we all need to come to the acceptance that that girl cannot fucking act. It takes a special kind of charisma, presence, and dramatic range to play a good Disney villain, and well, Gal Gadot doesn't have it. Her delivery somehow manages to be wooden and scenery chewing at the same time, and when she has to deliver a big musical number, you can pinpoint the exact moment where they swap out her voice with someone who can actually sing.
Imagine
this was the most cringe thing I've ever seen.
there's no heaven.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Jonathan is
Yeah, no, but the funny thing is, like, I don't think anyone even cares at this point. Like, the #1 goal of a movie is to get you into the theater. And they failed so badly. And that's all Rachel Zegler. Oh my god.
yet another entry into the bumbling, forgettable, non-threatening male sidekick list of modern-day Disney heroes.
I don't even know this guy. Oh my god. It's shocking they even invented him.
There's brief moments where it seems like he might be displaying the tiniest bit of attitude and heroism, but then it's immediately squashed to reinforce the idea that men are all just a bit useless.
Yeah, that's modern Disney, baby, and it's dying. Hell yeah, dude. We keep winning.
Visually, the film's an inconsistent mess. CGI Cthulhu nightmares aside, the color scheme ranges from bleak, washed-out grey castles and towns that look like Zack Snyder directed it, to a kind of over-the-top golden yellow piss filter for the CGI woodland scenes that's so excessive it actually makes your eyes start to hurt after a while. It's funny as well because there's like one scene that was filmed on location in a real forest, and the contrast between that and the CGI fantasy version is so jarring, I actually thought the action had shifted to a whole different country.
That's incredible. Oh my god, dude. How do you bumblefuck everything so bad? We will be studying this for generations. This is a glorious downfall. I love downfalls so much.
Also, you can absolutely tell this movie's been reshot to fuck.
Yeah!
The kiss scene where Jonathan brings Snow White back to life was absolutely added in later to try to appease fans of the original.
Yeah,
Snow White
baby!
herself has clearly been toned down in places to make her less obnoxious, and I'd be willing.
They had to make her less obnoxious in post. That's a flex, honestly. We can all come together and recognize that's impressive. Oh my god.
To bet about 90% of the bandits' screen time has been cut. Most of them don't even get a single line of dialogue.
Oh god. They had 7 dwarves and 7 bandits and no one said fuck all because there were too many bullshit characters. They just shoved them in there for no reason. What are we doing here? Oh lord, and this was in production for years, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Dialogue, which once again had me questioning.
I do have to say, it is very funny that this is an entire message about how, like, the socialist uprising against the fucking elite tyrannical rulers. Meanwhile, they spent $500 million or more on this slop. Like, unbelievable slop that they're not gonna make their money back on because they're fucking commies and it's gonna shut down this entire messaging. Like, you have to recognize the irony of them making communist propaganda so unlikable that they are losing all their funding for future communist propaganda, literally forcing themselves back into a capitalist system because otherwise they're not gonna make money to peddle more commie bullshit. It's funny. It's so funny. They're designing their own demise.
Why the fuck are they even in this movie? I think the biggest problem though is the ending. The original movie had the dwarves battling the evil queen to save Snow White, reinforcing the idea of reciprocal kindness and redemption, but here Snow White has to resolve everything by herself, and the result is that none of the other groups or factions have anything to do. Both the bandits and the dwarves, and even Jonathan, just kind of stand around watching the whole thing.
That's the thing, in every single modern Disney movie they do this. Every single remake, there are no male characters that do anything. Like, in the remake of Little Mermaid, in the original Little Mermaid, Ariel was fighting against Ursula, and the dude, the prince guy, ended up taking his ship and ramming it into her so that she could win the fight. In the remake, the dude was so useless, he couldn't even pilot his own boat, and Ariel had to take over his ship and steer it to crash into Ursula herself. Like, they are eroding the parts of any male contribution to the plot at all, so that the girl boss can always do all the things alone. It is unironically destroying basic family positive values for the sake of what? Propaganda bullshit that ultimately just corrupts and bankrupts your goddamn studio?
Thing play out, and I couldn't help wondering, what is the film even trying to show us here? Snow White as a character seems to be all about equity and shared responsibility, rather than privilege and greedy self-interest, but when it comes to the crunch, she ends up having to do basically everything herself, which negates the very point the movie's been trying to make for the past 2 hours.
They live in a constant flux of hypocrisy. On the one hand, we all need to be together, communists doing the things together because together we are strong, we must be together, and simultaneously she needs to be the girl boss that does everything herself. Oh my god, what a beautiful clusterfuck. Oh my, and they wonder why they lost all this money on the movie.
It's this fundamental inability to understand what it's even trying to say, beyond the crushingly tired princess who saves herself trope that's now become the very cliche it worked so hard to overturn that proves to be the film's real undoing. In short, Snow White is a modern day mess. A film that's basically been a disaster from start to finish, and now that it's finally out there and I've reviewed it, it's something I'm very much looking forward to tossing on the ash heap of history.
Yes.
Do yourself a big old favor, save yourself some time and money, and go watch the original instead.
Holy shit, a scathing review, goddamn.
Weird.
Yeah, weird indeed. That was crazy.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah, I think the conclusion is pretty simple, ultimately. Ultimately, super simple conclusion. This was a monumental failure. Like an actual monumental, goddamn, huge failure. One of the greatest downfalls I think I've ever been privy to witness. Subscribe for more downfalls. That's what we're here for. All the chaos, all the downfalls. Hell yeah. Check out the Critical Drinker. I'll link him in the description. I love his reviews. He does good shit. Ultimately, this was impressive. It was impressive that they managed to combine everything into this movie. Literally, they got the pro-Palestine crowd upset with Gal Gadot. They got every human being that's normal and rational upset with Rachel Zegler just trashing that shit. They contradict every single value and possible positive thing they have to say in this movie, and they lost everything because of it. It was one of the worst box office openings for any movie that ever came out in the history of Disney. They ruined everything about what they actually had. The memes are glorious. We keep winning, and they are losing any ground that they might have for future propaganda bullshit pieces. We are living in a wonderful era, a glorious, wonderful, beautiful era where we are winning, where the counterculture is becoming the culture because no one wants this shit. And we proved it with our dime by not watching this fucking bullshit movie. So, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. I did. I think it's important. I think that we are really reaching a precipice with Assassin's Creed Shadows and with Snow White, Snow Woke. Sitting out here, I think we're really reaching a new precipice, a new zenith. We are reaching new heights, and I am very excited to hopefully turn a new leaf and see less artistic vandalism and more actual positive values, because turns out that's what makes you money too. So F's in the chat we couldn't get Ebony Black and the 7 motherfuckers. But other than that, stay weird, fam. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam.